Yep.
When we get home, can I call Daddy?
Just came back from school run, so let's answer some questions. So much changes in my life lately, especially in my social media presence. I'm not even a big influencer or whatever, but then it's enough to actually take up quite a bit of time and mental space, because I want to answer questions properly, with a lot of sincerity and a lot of thought into it. But then there's so many questions, and sometimes I just don't feel that I'm the best person to answer any of it. But anyway, we share what we know and we give our best. We got coffee, and we got our other device. I don't think we have a lot of time. We probably have 10 minutes. Let's just do this now, because before the little one wakes up. So I posted it the other day on my Insta story. Just give any suggestion in terms of the Quran gathering, book discussions, and also just ask any questions at all. There's so many questions. Some of them are like Quran gathering related. Some of them are very other things related. Some are the book stuff. The most obvious thing would be how to join the Quran gathering. So basically, all the links and all the information in terms of how to join is already up on my bio. I put up a link to a Notion page. I put up there all the intentions and the timings and the Google Meet link, and also all the reflections from previous sessions already been saved there. Although I am quite late to updating this Notion page, but I'm catching up with things. And there's a question about, could you record all of the meetings? I think this is something that I will ask the regulars if they're comfortable with that. I think if I were gonna record anything, I'll probably just the reflection bit, so that would be the last half an hour of it. So are the sessions good for someone who is a beginner or even reverts? This session is very casual, and it's basically just a bunch of us. We take turn reciting a page of the Quran. So far, this is how we've been running it. And we are all not like, ustazah or alima, or, we are all just regular people who want a casual, friendly group who wants to recite. And then we can later casual chat about the deen. I think it's fine. So if you're a revert or beginner, absolutely very, very much welcome. Somebody said that I thought the Quran gathering is today and had logged on and in need of Quran reflection. I think this is a common comment that, or like feedback that I get, like, I'm always in need of Quran reflection. I think I just want to normalize it. I am seriously just an ordinary Muslim. I'm only average Muslim. I'm still learning and trying. Honestly, if you know me in real life, I'm just normal. But I am just a much happier normal Muslim, I think. And I'm obviously striving to become better. That's just my washing machine. I am striving to become better each day. I think having Quran in my heart really helps. And obviously, since learning a little bit more, I don't know a lot about the Quran. I think I'm still only, as I said to my friend, I'm only regurgitating information that I have gained from classes or other scholars and teachers out there. So yeah, having a Quran reflection is so important, because the Quran asks, have you not reflected? Have you not seen the signs? So I think we are here uncovering the signs one ayah at a time. And then, there's so many layers to the Al-Quran that we still do not know. I'm not even an Arabic speaker or Arabic reader. There's many layers of the Quran that I still do not know. So yeah, having this Quran reflection is just trying to embed Quran into our heart, into our everyday life. That is all. And yeah, we need to do more of that. We should normalize doing this every day in our life, actually. Wish to join your Quran session too, please come. Anyone is welcome. There's no commitment. If you missed the last sessions, just come to this one. If you can't make it in the future, that's fine. There's no there's no commitment. It's basically me and there's another lady, and I said to her, or I think we said to each other, that if it is just going to be just the two of us, we're just going to continue doing it. I hope this is something that we can stay istiqamah doing, and then we're going to continue learning about the Quran, every layer of it. Okay, there's a few suggestions about running the Quran session. Maybe make Monday Quran session, Thursday book discussion. I will jot it down. That suggestion is maybe discuss on any Islamic books and hadith and do some reflection. I like that too, because sometimes the Quran come alongside with hadith. We shouldn't be neglecting the hadith, because hadith is sunnah, isn't it? So, but then I'm not really an expert in hadith. I can only share what I've learned so far from like Dawrah and then any other classes that I've attended so far. I don't want to share the wrong thing. I'm just going to share my notes. Maybe we can consider this in the future. So if we can have the book sesh, could be in the early morning UK time, because I can't join the midday. I know timing is difficult because I am here in the UK, but I think my following base are more Malaysians than international for some reason. So I feel like I'm really trying to accommodate. Because I am at home all the time, so I am free anytime, and I think I can adjust my timing according to the majority. But it's for other people who wants to join. So we can have another night, or replace one of the Quran night, or like a third Friday or Wednesday of the month. That means like once a month, something like that. Yeah, there's so many different suggestions. I guess it depends on like the majority. I think something that I will discuss this afternoon with my regulars. You guys are VIPs in this case. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the other things that are not Quran gathering related. Okay, I really want to answer this one. So I hope it's okay for me to share this publicly, but I will keep you anonymous, obviously. I've been going through some was al-Qari. I've been struggling with doubts about Islam. Any advice? Coffee first. Was is actually whisperings. So this strong whispering that sometimes can really influence your decision making. Having waswasal it's part and parcel of being a Muslim, because in the Quran Allah has recorded that Shaitan will make every effort make us go astray from all directions, from top to bottom, from left and right, front and back. And they are the hardest working creation of Allah with a bad intent. That's just to make you forget and go astray from the Islamic path. There's a few ways that you can approach this. I personally have had something similar, and it didn't, because at the time I was in such a bad state, and unfortunately it didn't take me to the right to the best place. My approach to this waswasal and whispering was not something that I'm not proud of. Okay, and so I think reflecting on my own experience, and then I sincerely wanting to help you in this situation is, number one, if you're currently alone, go find a friend, or go find a family members that you can trust, someone that can you can sit and talk about faith issues, and someone who will listen and genuinely wanting to help. I know that sometimes when you talk certain things like this to some friends or some family members, they will be like, they will only encourage the whisper more, because the point is you want to quieten down the whisper and like increasing in faith. First is find a good company, and number two, talk about how you feel with this company. And it's best to find company who has also some knowledge or firm belief in the religion, because there's only two ways in it. So you want to listen to the whisper and continue being in doubt, or you want to go the opposite way, is to remove all doubt and become more confident. And then the only way to remove doubt and become more confident is to have knowledge. And I was in that phase where I had strong whisperings. I was completely alone, I was isolated, and I didn't have good company. And so obviously my next step was I got myself drowned into the whisperings and completely, gone astray. This is an extreme way to explain it, but yeah. And yeah, so my advice would be get yourself out of this lonely, quiet echo chamber that all you can hear is just your whispers. Get out of that, seek good company, and start talking about it, and then seek knowledge. But in order for you to start seeking knowledge, you have to be out of that dark, that dark black hole that only going to suck you in further. Islam is the path of truth, and I had spent many years in my life exploring the alternative to Islam. I'm not proud of it anymore, of that version of me, and I am glad that Allah had guided me back on the path and guided me to resources, knowledge, people that constantly push me towards the direction of light. You don't have to spend also 10 years. You don't have to make all the mistakes. Going through that dark path was worthy because now I know the opposite of dark is light. I wish that I could tell my younger self, like, hey, if you hadn't done it that way, you could save all the trauma, all the heartbreaks, all the disappointments in this life, because you had a firmer grasp of the truth and how to live life in more dignified way. So that's just my spills on this. So I hope that helps. How do you get out of a job you hate but you need the money? It's a very broad topic. I think it's really hard to answer, but in a simpler word, I think you got to ask again, clarify your intention of why that job is important or why money is important. I have, over the past couple of years, I have worked really hard with my mental and internal self that risk is not just about money. Time is risk. Family time is risk. Having ilm is risk. And I don't longer value money the same way. I value money in terms of opportunity to do more sadaqah, to do more charity, to do more good deeds for other people. My time is more valuable than money. This is a major mind shift that I have gained over the last couple of years. In the last couple of years, alhamdulillah, more beautiful memories with our family. It's no longer the luxury that we enjoy. We really enjoy simple things. And Allah put so much barakah in that little free experience that we get. That wow, it really wowed me. And subhanallah, like the way Allah put ease in your heart when you know you're doing things for His sake. So if about a job that you hate, I guess you have to explore that with yourself. Like, you hate it because of, is it because of it has no values? Is it because of the environment? Is it because of you don't find joy doing that anymore? I would hate a job that would take away all my time to be able to care for my family, because that's more valuable to me. I had a job for about 4 months earlier this year, and I quit because I hated that job so much. People find it like that job easy and fine, the pay is good, blah blah blah, but it just had no values to me. And I think and I tried to figure out the best way for me to still stay in that job, still put effort into making it a better job. I discussed it with the manager. Is it the timing? Is it because of the work itself? Or is it because I need more training? So I put in all the effort. We discussed different ways to make this job bearable. But after 4 months, because I was still in probation period, so we had like a review. We tried everything, and still in the end, I just feel that nah, and then there's no more. We exhausted all options, and I said, you know what, I'm just happily resigned. And my manager happily accept that it wasn't like we had any beef with each other. Istishara, always. Again, with istihara, I learned that you don't wait for a dream or a sign. Sometimes, you know what, you just have that urge that, okay, I think I've explored all options and I think quitting is the best for me. And when I submit my resignation, Everything just went well so easily. I even get 2 weeks grace period, which is paid, fully paid. If it's not here, I don't know what that was. So I believe in istikhara always, and then just following the flow. But obviously you have to be logical. Obviously I had backup plans, what I'm going to do with my time, how I'm still going to help my family. I have plans, like I'm like, okay, I'm quitting this job because I'm going to focus on more of like deen learning and then give back to the community. Okay, could we get more marriage content from you? Love the reel that you have posted on marriage. I don't think I'm a relationship expert, but maybe I can. But I don't know, like marriage content, yes, inshallah, I will give it a go. And I'll probably share another Q&A, like what kind of marriage content you like to see more. My marriage is something that I'm super grateful for. You have no idea, because I married a stranger, and I really followed my whim, and I think I stick true to my principle and my standard. I made dua a lot at the time, even though I would make dua directly. I always say this, I made dua. Sometimes you have a silent dua in your heart, like, Ya Allah, I'm not a good Muslim, but I really want to, please guide me. And the guidance come in a form of, like, sometimes you just been taken away out of a bad relationship and then end up in a good one. That is guidance. Meeting my husband is the best things that is ever written for me, because it has a domino effect. It has led to many big changes in my life afterwards. So when you said that I would love to join the book discussion, I love reading books too. Yay. I love books so much, as you can see. Obsession. Right now, my current read is, honestly, I'm not currently reading anything in particular at the moment, but I'm gonna show you something. Yeah, I can show you the most recent book that I've gotten is this. So we were in Switzerland just recently, and the accommodation is a very sweet and nice cabin overlooking the Alpine mountains. It was so beautiful, and the host put all these like personal touches of, like, and then they put up books like this, and I pick it up and then just spend that couple of nights when we stayed there reading the host's own copy. And you know what, I started to understand a bit more about Swiss culture, which I never really paid much attention. We know Swiss people have their own certain character, a certain culture, and I think this is important. I just find this very interesting read, and my husband just bought it straight away, and it arrived the next day when we just got back from our European trip. Yeah, this is currently I'm trying to get onto it. Because I read a few pages already when I was there, so I'm just trying to pick up, where did I live. So can you suggest the best book you have read? If I were to choose 3 top books that I've read so far, right? If I were to choose the best 3 books that I've read that I think life-changing, okay, I would say this. It helps really a lot with, like, implementing habit. This is not Islamic, but then I think there's a lot of gems in here about how to really fine-tune your habits, and why setting goals is bad as compared to creating system. That is something that I have changed completely. I no longer have goals. I just changed my entire system. Use all the information in this book to fine-tune our rituals. And then obviously the one book that really changes me is this, and this is the English only the clear Quran translation. It's a translation of the Quran by Dr. Mustafa Khatab. It is clear and simple. I think as a beginner, it was really helpful for me to, like, connect with the words with Kalamullah, because sometimes when you read, like, the old translation, they're a bit deep and then it's really hard for you to understand. But this is simple, straightforward language, highlight and everything. I'm not good with tabbing though. I highlight a lot. Yeah, this is, I would recommend this. We did a Quran project the other day to give away the copies of this book, and I'm so happy that there's probably we probably donated over 100 copies now at this point. This is a book that my friend gifted me a while back. I think it was last Zulhijjah, so this has been over a year. But when I first started reading this book, I didn't get it. Yes, it is a book about returning to Allah, repentance, stories of repentance, sinners and seekers, and then finally returning to Allah. Telling this all make imperfect human, only wanting to seek the perfection and wanting to seek closeness to Allah. It also tells all the stories of like scholars of in the past that had taken a major turn and repented and then becoming someone who influential in the spread of Islam. Got this book maybe over a year ago. I didn't get it. I first didn't get the spiritual path. I feel like it's a little bit too much for me. I think there's an essence of Sufism as well in this writing, and asceticism, like the very deep spiritual seeking journey, which I didn't get. But then after Daura life, that I started to realize there are seeker and there are spiritual seeker, and there are monks. I don't know if I could call it that way. And this is the process of us completely detaching ourselves from dunya and to become so close to Allah. Obviously, I'm not there yet. I am, I don't know, a baby still in this journey. But this book, finally, after joining Dawra, I finally understand spiritual seeking, the path, tariqah, and then Sufisms and stuff like that. Then I get to understand this book. On a spiritual journey, you are at different level, and sometimes you realize that you are alone in your own journey. There is no one else accompanying you. But then actually you are not completely alone. There are people out there who go through similar process of wanting to get, seeking closeness to Allah at different speed and different level. We are all in that phase, honestly. But sometimes nobody really wants to comfortably talks about it, over brunch or over coffee, because this is something that people tend to keep to themselves, because you don't want to be seen as maybe a hypocrite or someone who like seemingly normal on the outside, but internally you really seeking that light. But then I think reading this kind of stories or accounts really helped me feel like, there are people who go through the similar mental or inner processing, that like, we want this, but then at the same time holding back, at the same time I want this, at the same time I want to get that light, but then the light keeps slipping away from you. And then I think reading this makes me feel like I'm not completely alone in this, and I know there are other people out there who is wanting to get on the path, but then just probably crawling or baby stepping along the way. But inshallah we will get there. Yeah, so don't compare your spiritual journey to anyone else's, but you have to keep looking for your crowd. At first I felt comfortable, about how lonely this spiritual journey is. But right now I'm not anymore, because I know there are people out there, and I know within my circle, I know there are people there that I know I can reach out to. Hey, I want to talk about, can we just spend time talking about God? But there are people who we can talk about God in a more lighter conversation. There are people we can talk about God in a deeper sense. So I hope that makes sense. I don't think there is anymore. I think the other questions are all about the same. I want to do a reel about all the books I've read this year. There's so many, including PDF. Yeah, I'll probably do a reel. But the thing is, the problem with me is I get overwhelmed easily trying to be my best every day. Okay? No, not at all perfect. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this is beneficial, and I see you again in the next one. Assalamualaikum.
Makin lama makin tegang.
Tegang. Tu nampak.
Kira tu